Looking for work in today's market can be a challenge for anyone, especially those looking to leave the military behind and rejoin the civilian workforce. Hi, I'm Montel Williams, your host. And today on Military Makeover Operation Career, we've got 3 inspirational stories about veterans who found gainful employment after transitioning to civilian life. Our first story takes us to Alexandria, Virginia, the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Like many companies and organizations, they're looking for a few good men and women. That's why they've made it their mission to hire veterans through their very highly successful veteran hiring program.
Here at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, the mission is to protect intellectual property for the United States and for the world.
Think of being surrounded by innovation, the latest inventions. They come through our doors. Trademarks are the most famous brands in the world, here to be protected.
Patents and trademarks provide critical protection of intellectual property so that innovators and businesses can then commercialize the products and services and generate economic advantage.
If you look around you today, you will see thousands and thousands of patents and trademarks that you interact with every second and you don't even realize it.
In 2012, the USPTO initiated their veteran hiring program to answer the President's call to make sure that veterans leaving the service had a route to take in the civilian government.
We like to say that our veterans here at the PTO continue to serve. The work that they are doing here is incredibly important to our nation, so our veterans really just continue their service. Once they're out of uniform, they come right here. Our veterans have a lot of responsibility. They're exposed to a lot of great leadership. They themselves become great leaders. Those characteristics translate very well into a civilian job setting, whether it's in the private sector or the public sector. Now we have hiring managers coming to us saying, I need a veteran for this position.
Since 2012, the USPTO has hired over 800 military veterans.
The Army was looking for linguists, people in medical background, people with engineering background that would help the military meet its needs all around the world. Even though I had such an international background and I'd grown up in different parts of the world, the military really strengthened that skill. So because I was in a civil affairs unit, one of the main skills that I had to learn was actually how to deal with people from very different backgrounds. When I transitioned from the Army to the USPTO, the experience was the first where I would actually grow roots in the city. We live in Arlington and we just love the DC area. It's been the first place that I've grown roots, and the USPTO's smooth transition from the Army really helped me do that.
I joined the United States Air Force in 1990. I was enlisted initially, and I worked tactical communications. I did that for a little under 7 years, and it was there that I met my husband. I grew up in the Air Force. It was my first job. And within the Air Force, there's just a sense of camaraderie, fellowship, and just really, really good people. That was a challenge for me. The transition from being a military member to civilian life wasn't easy for me.
Like veterans Raj and Taisha, the USPTO looks to hire dedicated military-shaped leaders from all walks of life.
We've also had great success working with some of the programs sponsored by DoD and the Department of Veterans Affairs, the Wounded Warrior Program and Operation Warfighter. We also hire a number of veterans with disabilities and veterans who are being medically released from the service. And a lot of the jobs here at the PTO are very, very friendly environments for people who are dealing with disabilities and service-related disabilities. We've hired approximately 800 veterans since 2012. When we started, veterans weren't on anyone's top of mind when it came to hiring. Within a very short period of time, thanks to the veterans that were already here at the PTO, and thanks to the veterans that we brought aboard, those mindsets changed.
Coming to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office was a blessing because I found that same sense of camaraderie among my peers and even among the leadership. Leadership is very accessible and nurturing and supportive.
The transition was very, very smooth. A lot of support from within the military community here. Very deep understanding from the people who have not served in the military about your experiences, just gained from working with other veterans in the past, and also from being actively trying to learn from you about your experiences in the military.
A lot of organizations talk about taking care of people, but it's institutionalized at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. There are real programs, real people, real resources available for us to use.
The Patent and Trademark Office offers unlimited career advancement opportunities for our veterans, whether it's examining patents, registering trademarks, serving in the information technology teams or the human resource teams. This is a great place to be. We would love to have you join us.
What differentiates the USPTO from a lot of other places that are probably good places to work in is the unparalleled work-life balance, the ability to pursue your educational goals. It's an agency that really gives you a lot of responsibility very early on and gives you the opportunity to grow at your own pace. The USPTO really lets you be you. It lets you do what you have always wanted to do and pursue your dreams.
The best opportunity I had career-wise was joining the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. If you're a vet out there and you're looking to work for an organization that aligns with your core beliefs, that you can build on what you've experienced all over the world, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office is the place for you.
For more information on patents and trademarks or potential employment opportunities, please visit their website at uspto.gov/jobs.
Trucking is a growth industry, and as such, the need for hard-working, goal-oriented individuals is greater than ever before. And who better to recruit than former military personnel who are used to getting the job done? This is why PAM Transport is reaching out to vets who want to hit the open road and jumpstart their careers.
Well, I guess our story, I was going to start out by saying my story, but our story really began almost 19 years ago. I joined the Navy not right out of high school. My actual goal was to go to college. I was going to join the Army. I wasn't 18 at the time, so I had to get my mom's permission. And she said, absolutely not. You're going to go to college first. So about a year and a half later, I walked into the house and said, Mom, I'm joining the Navy. But ultimately, that path led me to Naval Hospital, Puerto Rico, which is actually where we met. She was a religious programming specialist.
And then we were kind of inseparable after that.
Yeah, been together ever since.
We got married shortly after that. I got out and he stayed in, and we've been kind of like backing each other up ever since then.
Virginia was my first operational tour. The USS Eisenhower.
It was also the scariest
Yeah, it
deployment
was.
for us. He would call us and tell us that there were mortars going off every day. Hardest one to go through.
So we've been through some, tough times, and I say that just to say it's really strengthened us, if you will, as just as a family.
We're amazing when things are the worst.
Overcoming challenges and things we could face, even now, even outside the military. After 16 years of bouncing around the Navy and being away from them, now that they're all here, I said, you know what, I'm going to retire here. We're going to call this home. So one of the challenges I was facing was, after a 20-year career and getting training and skills to do a certain job, what can I do with it? What can I do outside the military?
My name's Dan Cushman. I'm President and CEO of PAM Transport. We're a full truckload service provider. We've got over 2,500 trucks, over 6,000 trailers. We cover the entire United States and Mexico. Hiring veterans is always a focus of ours because, plain and simple, we've seen the great success we've had with them, what dedicated, committed, focused employees that they are for us. Not just drivers. We've seen military success within our shops, within our office employees. They're people that come to work with a purpose. They want to be a part of a family, and we feel we offer that to them.
I began my career 30 years ago with PAM when I made the transition from military to civilian life. I can tell you firsthand that PAM Transport values its veterans, not only for their military service, but for the skills and traits they've acquired while in the military.
If you can service the automotive industry, you can do anything. It's very, very demanding. Jeremiah's a great example of that.
Once Jeremiah got out of the military, he became a student. From there, he became a team driver. Then he got on a dedicated run that gets him home weekly. And now he's his own business person as an owner-operator.
This is trucking. It's not always easy. It's not always smooth sailing, and to think it will be is really not realistic. You're going to have some pretty challenging things come your way. But as long as you're equipped, as long as you equip yourself, you can pretty much weather anything that's going to cross your bow.
I don't have a military background, but we've hired a lot of ex-military. And I ask them, what is it you like about PAM Transport? Because I want to learn from them. And they like the fact that we're very task-oriented. We have a mission to accomplish every single day. That's the transportation industry. One of the things that we're very sensitive to is our driver home time needs. And each driver has a different need. Some drivers want to get home nightly, and we've got jobs that allow them to do it. Jeremiah, for example, gets home weekly. He's on a dedicated route.
But we have more than just driving jobs available to veterans that are leaving. We have logistics jobs. We've got shop jobs. We've got operation and office jobs. We offer a lot to a transitioning military veteran.
I know for me, I think choosing PAM is probably, it was probably the best choice I think I could have made for a second career.
And for us, it seems like it's normal day, because
Yep.
it was before,
Yep.
and now it's the same. We still just get, excited waiting for you to get home.
I would highly encourage you to seek out PAM Transport and consider making your change to civilian life start and end at PAM Transport.
Our next organization provides electric, gas, and steam services to over 10 million people, making them one of the largest energy delivery systems in the world. That said, they need people who get the big picture, which is why they look for former servicemen and women to join their ranks.
Welcome to the Big Apple, home to some of our hardest working, fast-paced, diverse individuals. A home for over 800,000 of our military veterans.
I enlisted in the Army in 2007, right out of high school. I didn't really have any other idea of what I would want to do with my life. And also, I'm born and raised New Yorker, so 9/11 was very big in my community. A lot of folks that are close to me were involved in that. So it was on multiple levels really important, in my opinion, for folks from this part of the country to serve.
I come from a military family, long line as far as the history is concerned. My dad was in the United States Navy. He was a yeoman. So I saw the military firsthand when I was younger. My grandparents, both of my grandfathers were in the Army. And then on top of that, when I was a freshman in high school, I was introduced to the idea of the United States Naval Academy. I brought a catalog home because back then the internet wasn't around. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get in because I knew how challenging it was. But once I got that acceptance letter and the opportunity, there was no turning back.
My father was a Marine. I joined the Marine Corps as well in 1991. We've had a family member in every war since World War II. You know, as young boys, me and my brother, we would see the uniforms and we'd hear stories, and that was a big inspiration for me to join the military. And plus, I wanted to serve my country.
Since 2003, enlisted service members have been exiting the military at a rate of roughly 250,000 per year, leaving a large group of our veterans with the question, what comes next?
When I first got out, the transition was not easy. Many people did not understand the military resume or what the military veterans had to offer. So I moved around for a little bit, and within 5 years, when Con Edison was hiring veterans and they understood what the veterans had to offer, that's when I came on board.
Founded in 1823 as the New York Gaslight Company, Con Edison and its subsidiaries provide electric, gas, and steam energy to 10 million people in New York City and some neighboring counties.
We're a business that provides very large solar plants and smaller solar plants all over the country. We provide gas on cold days. We heat the city. On beautiful nights, we light it. And so that is so essential to what we do, just like the military's mission is so essential to the security of this country.
Con Edison currently employs over 720 veterans, with over 60 serving in the reserves or National Guard.
My job is to recruit active National Guard and Reserve service personnel as they're transitioning off of active duty to positions here at Con Ed. Our service members coming off active duty come with valuable skill sets that are a perfect fit here for some of our positions at Con Edison.
I'm a gas leak emergency first responder with Con Edison. We run into buildings when everybody else is coming out. You know, we're the first to respond and the last to leave. The same lessons that I learned when I was in the Air Force, that you get out of it what you put in. It's the same lessons that you learn here.
The military taught me to to pay attention to detail. You know, the job that I do in electrical operations, you have to pay attention to detail. I mean, electricity is unforgiving. The leadership skills that they taught us, I'm a chief lineman, so I'm in charge of a crew of people to get the particular function done for the day. A success because of what I've learned in the military, I believe.
Con Edison was ranked as one of the top 100 companies on the Military Times 2018 Best for Vets survey.
But we also look for veterans who need a little bit of help, maybe a little bit of boost. And we have some veterans that have come out of the service with service-related injuries or issues, and we're happy to help here at Con Edison.
I would really like to see other veterans coming in to Orange and Rockland and Con Edison, because you can be part of a team, you can cultivate a healthy team atmosphere. You're doing something that's important because we're providing a really crucial service to the community. The hospitals, the police, the fire department, nothing runs without us doing our job.
To any veteran that's looking for a place to be, maybe you feel that you're wandering around and you're confused. Con Edison is the direction.
Sometimes it can be an adventure. There's something new every day. You're working in one of the greatest cities in the world and you're making it work. A lot of pride in what we do here. And veterans are more than welcome to work for Con Edison. That's why we have over 700 of them.
You have to be all into the mission, whatever it is. And the mission that we have now in providing essential services to New York City and the surrounding areas, and also clean energy throughout the country. You got to be all in, and that's something that I am. I'm all into this mission, and it makes my job easy.
For veterans interested in a career in helping to power the city, submit an application directly to an opening on their website and send your resume to veterans@coned.com.
Transitioning from military service to the civilian workforce is challenging, but it's good to know that there are many companies out there these days that are actively looking to hire veterans. These companies recognize that veterans have a lot to offer because they're goal-oriented, disciplined, and bring life experience to the proverbial table. I'm Montel Williams, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Military Makeover Operation Career. We'll see you next time.